Everybody, welcome to the recap for February 3rd, 2022. Let's talk about what happened today, what we did, what worked, what didn't work, etc. So we just ended the day off with Amazon. We played it on the, I was calling it out on live on the earnings release. Push from, obviously the low end to we're looking for 31.97. Actually, 3,100 and then 31.97, now 33.36 if you get it to the upside there. Ended up taking Amazon for, let's see, I'll show you guys. I posted on Twitter as well, but pretty good trade there. Over 250 points to the upside after hours. Holding the last piece, we'll see where that thing ends up. If it breaks 3,000, I'll be getting out of the rest of it, but pretty good trade. Overall, happy with that. That's definitely the highlight of the day for me at the moment. But anyways, other things that we did trade today, we did trade some Tesla right out the gate on the long side. Had a great continuation in relative strength. We rolled into 975 calls, which ended up going up a couple 100%. So that was a really nice trade right out the gate. One thing that we noticed obviously was, and I noted that SPY would probably pull back if Facebook was weak today. Maybe look for a little bounce in the morning and then, continuation lower, which we did get into the end of the day. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. But overall, we didn't really do much with the SPY today. It was kind of all the premiums were juiced up because of the VIX. We tried to go after names that weren't really tech related or names that wouldn't really be affected by that premium juicing up. So we did things like IBM intraday to the upside, which ended up working nicely, the 140 calls for just above 50%. We did BA 210 calls, which ended up working nicely for about 70% to the upside. We did some MA intraday for a scalp into the 50 MA, the 400 calls, which worked out nicely for about 35-40%. A lot of scalping on the option side today. We tried some XOM on the put side, that didn't work. The call side, it worked to for 40%. It was an okay trade, nothing too major there. What else did we do? We did some Roblox in the morning, which ended up working nicely. We ended up getting stopped out right before the news came, which was quite lucky for us, but ended up being about a 75% trade on that. EA, we were on this one right out the gate on the option side, looking at the 140 calls. I figured we would have relative strength. My thesis on EA is I think it gets bought out in the next couple weeks or months, just because all the big tech are buying all of the gaming names. Basically, I think it just makes sense that they're going to be taking out more as the competition heats up. So that was a decent little trade there. ABBV, we did take some lottos on this, the 144 calls, which ended up going up 140%-ish this morning, so that was a nice one there. PayPal, we took some 118 puts. They were pretty stagnant the whole day. They went up about 20%, and then they didn't really do much just because it was moving so slow. Microsoft puts, the 305s, we had about 167. We ended up getting out of these a little bit early when the market was bouncing. I kind of got head faked there. So about a 40% trade, but overall pretty decent. And then lastly, we'll talk about, I guess, kind of a couple other names. Qualcomm we took on the long side this morning, 195 calls, ended up getting about 100% change on that. Some of the stuff that didn't work, we tried to do a little bit of GM calls. The 55s, sorry, this is one of the last ones that worked. The GM 55 calls, which worked out nicely this morning on that pop. Had them at about 46 cents. These went all the way to the. It wasn't much of a move, but what did we get on that? Yeah, we got about 15-20% on that. So some of the stuff that didn't work, DKNG, we tried to do the 23 calls. Those ended up failing pretty quickly after that little pop. We tried the AMD 130s. These ones actually worked. On that little pop, we got about 100% and change on that, so that was a nice one. Afrin calls, we did these. 70 lottos, we got about 40% on those. I'm just trying to find the stuff that didn't work, guys, sorry. Oh, here we go. So we tried some Facebook. The premiums actually held up, 275 calls. We rolled them from the equity after playing it long out the gate. Long after that dip there. And they really didn't move much. So that was one that kind of didn't work at all. Other than that, I mean, the option side wasn't bad. The premiums pretty much held up everything today. The stuff that worked pretty good. The stuff that didn't work, you could take it off for small losses, so that was nice. Equity side, like I said, most of the stuff we were in worked pretty good. We started the day with that Tesla long, which we did roll into. Options. Facebook we had short out the gate, and then we flipped it long after it started to bounce. UPST we had long right out the gate. We ended up getting about 4 or 5 points on that. We took DWAC long today. It was a nice little scalp to the upside for 6 points. Amazon we played it long intraday for 10, 20 points here and there, and then 10 points in the morning, and we did about 15 points at the end of the day. And then obviously on earnings we did over 250 points, which that's great. And then we did some other stuff that didn't work. I tried FGI again today. Starter size didn't work. I don't know why. I probably just got to avoid this name, but it does look like it's setting up on the daily for continuation. We did a little bit of CVNA, which ended up working for a decent scalp this morning for about 50 cents. So that was okay. Nothing too major in that. For the most part, we kind of waited after the morning was done. There wasn't too much to trade. We did try some BABA in the morning as well, which we ended up getting a nice little 50-cent pop on. Nothing major, but like I said, market started to pretty much consolidate after the morning move, and we kind of waited till the end of the day to do some stuff. And at the end of the day, we really didn't do much. We tried to play some things on the bounce, which Amazon worked out nicely. Tesla, we tried again at the end of the day, didn't work. We had a really nice trade in the morning, and then end of the day, the starter position got stopped out of. And then we tried this Cavill, and I was tweeting about this one as well, just had really high relative volume and strength into the 132 area, which worked out pretty good. Other than that, pretty interesting day. We'll see what happens tomorrow, Lotto Friday. I would expect a lot of range on the SPYs and the Qs, guys. So I think we're going to be in for an interesting one. We'll see what happens on this conference call on Amazon. But I would expect premiums to really come in on the option side tomorrow, really quickly out the gate. And then I think at that point, it makes sense to start getting back into the options. Lotto Friday, like I said, should be a day with a lot of opportunity, but you don't want to get sucked into that premium decay that I think is going to happen right out the gate. Anywho, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Recap for February 3rd, 2022. And yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy.